Hello and welcome to the final edition of the Spike Ridgley Show for this season. Our show has been brought to you all season long by Reliable Heating and Cooling of Massillon. I'm your host, Dave Sheets, and along with me is the head coach of the Massillon Tiger baseball team, Spike Ridgley. Spike, welcome back to the show.
Great to be back.
I'm sure it is. Yeah. Since last week's show, your Tigers have advanced to the Division I District Championship game following wins against Dover and Jackson. Now, we'll discuss in detail yesterday's win over Jackson later in the show. First, let's go back to last Thursday's 7-3 sectional tournament win against Dover. Without that win, last night doesn't happen. What stands out for you in that game?
Yeah, just all hands on deck. I mean, our goal every year is to try to earn a bye so we don't have to play on Tuesday. And when you don't have to play on Tuesday, then you can use everything you have on Thursday to try to get to the next week. And, we've been pretty fortunate over the first 7-8 years that we've been here where we would go into that game and really pitch one guy. You tip your cap to Dover. They played a really good game, and we needed 4 pitchers in that game. So each guy battled real hard. We were able to get some timely hitting when we needed it. We went down 2 in that game. I think it was in the second inning. And we had to change pitchers at that point, and credit to Drew Stipp because he was the guy that we needed to take out of the game. And the way we wrote the lineup, he was the player DH, so he stayed as the DH. And right in the next half inning, had a huge hit to tie the game right back up. So credit to him to stay in the moment. And then we were able to tack one on. I think it was the very next inning we tacked one on. And then we had the big inning in the 6th. With Tyler Hackenbrack getting a huge hit right there, and 3 runs came home. So, and then we had the different guys pitching that game. We went from Stitt to Marsh to Matt to Palilli at the end to close the door. So that was sort of the definition of a team win, and it just shows you, you got to have everybody ready in those moments. Both teams, they were using a lot of their guys too, and it was a great game to be a part of. And I feel very fortunate that we came out on top.
Now, your offense banged out 9 hits in the game, including 2 hits each from Tyler Hackenbrack and Gavin Marceric. It seems like the last couple of weeks the offense is coming to life a little bit.
Yeah. It kind of started in the Alliance game a few weeks ago, and we had like 16 hits in that game. And then the next 4 or 5 games, it's been 9, 10, 9. The kids are starting to swing the bats. The weather's getting a little bit warmer, and a lot of the work that we've seen the kids put in over the last 8-10 weeks is really starting to show, and it really helped us in that Dover game. The pitching and defense has been carrying us all year, and we really needed the hitting had to pick us up that day, and it did.
I thought your team showed its versatility in the last several innings as you were moving players around a lot. You had to keep kept bringing in pitchers, and then of course the other guys have to move around. There's some versatility there, isn't there? Yeah,
I think when you're managing in those situations, you're trying to make sure that you're doing your very best to put the kids in the best position to win, but they've also got to be able to do it. And they practiced different positions, most all of them, most of the year. You got Chase Duplain bouncing from first to second. Not a lot of teams do what we did at the end and pulled the catcher from behind, put the pitcher behind the plate, and the catcher's now pitching. And that's the kind of team that we have. Guys just want to win, and sometimes the conventional wisdom thing isn't the thing that we do. And the kids, there's a lot of trust right now between players and coaches. We trust them that they're going to get it done, and they trust us that we're going to put them in the position to get it done.
I also noticed with your team, not just this year, but through the years, you use the bunt as an effective weapon. Is that something that you learned from your dad? Or how did that all develop?
Yeah, watching Dad's teams. Being a little guy, it's neat now because my kids are coming around watching, and they're starting to notice that the scouting report is on the hat. If you look at how Obi's holding the bat on the hat. But I watched his teams do it, and they were very effective and very successful. Here's the thing: when your hitting is catching up, sometimes that can be the equalizer while you're waiting for that to happen. And then you make them play defense. That's the big thing is you always want to cut your strikeouts down. We cut them down. We've done that a lot in the last 2 weeks. And bunting helps that, as you start facing better and better pitchers to get the ball in play and to make their defense have to touch and make throws.
Very good. When we come back, we'll visit with a Tiger player, but first this word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
There was a time when 10 miles to the gallon was acceptable. Today's 40-plus mile-per-gallon cars weren't even in the rearview mirror back then. Of course, this Lennox air conditioner wasn't on the radar either. It's solar-ready, the quietest, most energy-efficient air conditioner you can own. It's time to live in the now.
Call Reliable Heating and Cooling for the most advanced technology in heating and air conditioning. When you're ready to live in the now, call Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, air is life. Make it perfect.
Thanks, Reliable Heating and Cooling, and welcome back to the Spike Ridgley Show. The Tiger player joining us this week is senior pitcher and infielder Matt McGeorge. Matt, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Great to have you with us. Matt, I'm not sure a senior baseball player could ever have a bigger day than you did yesterday. Your day included a tournament win over Jackson in the afternoon and then graduation last night inside of Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. We got a big win yesterday. Had to go graduate with the guys, so it was pretty fun.
I bet that was. Now, you pitched a tremendous game against Jackson yesterday. You went 7 innings, no runs, just 3 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 2 walks. What did you have going for you that led to that success?
Just pound the zone, make them hit the ball. Our defense had to make 16 plays, like Coach Ridgley said. And I trust our guys to make those plays. I see it every day in practice, so just trusting them helped a lot.
Was there any single moment in the game that you kind of said to yourself, you know what, we're going to win this game?
When the ground ball was hit to Gavin Marceric in the last inning.
Not before that?
No.
Great. When the final out was made, what's some of the things that you were thinking about right away? Anything come to mind?
I really don't remember much.
Okay.
After the game, it just kind of happened. So
kind of a blur?
Yeah.
All right. And as you were a part of that, what was that celebration like? Do you remember, hugging your teammates and different things like that?
Just a bunch of good vibes from all the guys. Coaches, teammates, were all just hugging each other, smiling, laughing, just trying to get ready for Thursday.
It's a nice payoff for all the hard work.
Yes, it is.
And finally, you now face Hoban in the district championship game tomorrow afternoon at Munson Stadium in Canton. What have the coaches told you and your teammates about the Knights?
They're a good team. They're going to be a challenging team to go. We got to see them earlier in the year in a scrimmage, so we know a little bit about them, but not much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we obviously want to thank you for your time today, and best of luck against Hoban.
Thank you.
Coach Ridgley will rejoin the program after we take this timeout.
Hello, and welcome to the Stark County Humane Society. Today we're going to give you a few pointers when considering adopting a new furry friend. All animals here at the Stark County Humane Society are spayed, neutered, microchipped, vaccinated, dewormed, and if old enough, heartworm tested for our canine friends. Adopters will receive a free exam within 2 weeks of adoption at local veterinarian hospitals. We encourage all adopters to take full advantage of this. A one-time adoption fee is required for your new furry friend. When you adopt, you get an awesome adoption packet that includes treats for your new fur baby and savings for you. But this is not where the cost of adoption stops. Did you know the average cost of an animal like a new puppy or kitten can cost up to $500 annually? This includes annual veterinarian visits, preventative care, and everyday supplies like crate, litter, food, toys. But I hope this doesn't scare you away. Adopting an animal is a huge responsibility and a commitment. Please take the time to consider the cost of adopting a new pet into your family today. I hope to see you soon at the Stark County Humane Society. Please visit our website or visit us on social media for more information.
Welcome back to the Spike Ridgley Show here on WHS-TV. Coach, we just spoke with senior pitcher and infielder Matt McGeorge in our last segment. How did his pitching performance yesterday impact the rest of the guys in the dugout during that big win over Jackson?
Yeah, the kids have seen him do it before. It just hasn't been in a starting role. Matt has come into a couple of games after the first inning when it wasn't going well, and then he threw the rest of the game. And he's done that a couple times. So I think the kids, truthfully, they expected him to pitch well, as we did as coaches. He wanted the ball. You can tell he wanted the ball. He was rested. He was ready, and he's a competitor. He's a strong competitor, and he wants to be in that moment. So we had a feeling that he would be successful in that, and boy did he show out.
Now, your Tigers get the 2-0 win over the Polar Bears yesterday afternoon at Munson Stadium. The only 2 runs of the game came in the second inning. Tell us about that rally.
Yeah, I think it was 2 outs too. So we get a base runner on. I think it was Luke. It was Matt's brother got on base, our third baseman, and then I had an out or two maybe happen. And then we had Xavier Hamid just drove the ball in the gap. I think he one-hopped the wall. And it was, it's one of those ones that was up there forever. It felt like the ball was hanging in the air forever, and you just wanted it to come down. And you go from watching the left fielder to the ball to the left fielder to the ball, and then you finally see that the ball is going to beat the left fielder. So now you're zooming down into where the base runner is, because he's got to wait for a second, and he ends up scoring, and we're able to advance to second base on it. So, we got the first one in. The energy was really lifted right there, and then Gavin Merceric with 2 outs, if it's not 2 outs, I don't think we score, because he hit it so hard to the left fielder. We probably, our runner at second would have probably had to wait and see if it was going to be caught, because it was hit so hard. But because it was 2 outs, we were running without worrying about where it was hit, so we were able to score that second one. And you could just tell the way Matt was pitching. They had the threat in the first inning, which was huge to get out of that. He battled his way out of that, and you could just tell, we had settled in, because there's a lot of energy in those games, and you got it. That first pitch, that first out has to get made, and then you just start to settle in. I felt us settle in when we got the third out in the first inning, and so you knew what he was capable of, and you knew how important those 2 runs were going to be.
I know also you had to be pleased with your team's defense behind Matt.
Yeah, I think he had 5 strikeouts, which means, we had to make 16 outs. And, we were flawless. The kids played incredible defense. I think everybody got a touch, too. I think if you go back through it, I think every guy had a touch on an out. So everybody had something to do with it. The communication was incredible. It was a high sky, not too many clouds. Pop-ups are really tough on a day like that. So I thought that Chase Duplain pulled in a couple of really tough pop-ups. Those look easy when you're watching from the stands, but when you're down on field level and you're watching that thing go up and come back down, and there's no point of reference with clouds behind it, it's tough. He made a couple of those, and then to be able to have the infielders all get a touch and make their plays. Brock made a great play on a pop-up. It was a team effort. It was fun to watch.
You now face Hoban in the district championship game tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock at Munson Stadium in Canton. I know the team, the families, the fans are all excited. What can you tell us about the Knights?
Really good baseball team. It's very similar to Jackson in that they're just very fundamentally sound. They pitch really well. They play great defense. They got good team speed. They like to bunt a little bit here and there. I think the thing for us is just, we've got to go out and play clean defense. We've got to pitch well, throw strikes. You'd like to score first. I don't think you have to. But you'd like to. But I think it's going to be a battle. I think it's a pretty closely matched teams again. This time of year it always is. And I think it's going to come down to pitching and defense.
Has a decision been made by you and your coaches who will be your starter?
Yeah, it's probably in between a couple of guys right now. We're still kind of working through that. Guys we have available that from watching us. We've got Brock ready. We've got Christian ready. Wilbur's ready. Stitt might be ready for a little bit at the end. But we're still working through that. A lot of that's going to have to do with what we got from our scouting report yesterday. The coaches will talk tonight. We stayed after and scouted them some, and we'll talk that through tonight.
And anytime a team can advance to a district championship game, it's exciting. How do you keep your guys from getting too emotional? Because you have to keep your emotions in check, especially in the sport of baseball, don't you?
Yeah, I think it goes back to our approach in pregame. There's times when I'll get after them some before a game. Maybe raise the voice a little bit to kind of get their attention, and they don't need that right now. We didn't do it yesterday. and we won't do it again tomorrow. The kids are focused. It's more about our meetings right now are more. They're very calm, and they're more about strategic things and making sure our signs are right and just strategy things. And then we try to get over there, and Coach always says, loosen the levers, Coach Merceric. And so you'll see our kids kind of going like that on the field just to get to slow the heartbeat. So I think our guys have practiced that pretty well. I think you get in there and you get that first out and things, it's a baseball game. So, and that's our goal, is just go over there and be the best version of ourselves that we can be that day, and see if we can bring the district championship home back to Massillon.
Sounds good. Well, as school is winding down, this is going to be our final show. We thank you and all the players who have been with us all season.
Yeah, you know what? Thank you. And thanks to our sponsors, thanks to our fans. The fans all season long have been incredible, and particularly last night at Munson. So we hope to see you guys over there Thursday, and go Tigers.
Sounds good. Thanks to our season-long sponsor of this program, Reliable Heating and Cooling of Massillon. And for Matt McGeorge, Coach Spike Ridgley, I'm Dave Sheets, your host. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Tigers.